Today's Homeowner with Danny Lipford. Real projects for real homeowners with real solutions. Information and inspiration on improving your home from professional remodeler Danny Lipford.
Hello and welcome to the show this week. You know, over the years as a contractor, I've seen a number of trends develop as far as the type of projects that homeowners will request the most. And by far, one of the most popular is adding a bathroom, especially on a two-story home. Now that's what we'll do this week, is to add an additional bathroom between two existing bedrooms. Now we'll talk with the homeowner about what motivated this change and show you how we're going to get the job done. We'll see the project from start to finish in this week's show. And along the way, we'll give you some great ideas if a new bathroom is in your future. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Now this home is fairly typical for its size and age. Has a half bath downstairs and two full bathrooms on the second story. Of course, every family is a little unique in their needs, and this particular home is the home of Sally Hudgens. Now, the needs for an extra bathroom, what motivated that?
Well, we have 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy, and they've been sharing the hall bath. And my daughters just turned 10 and 12, and the time came where they were asking for a little more privacy in their bathroom. They've gotten into taking a little more time with their personal grooming and didn't want their younger brother intruding on them.
Well, I can certainly relate to that. I have 3 daughters about the same age, and I know how the competition for that bathroom time can get fairly intense. How did you come up with the idea of positioning the bathroom between the 2 bedrooms? That's a great idea.
Well, we thought about that it would work well since the bedrooms did back up to each other, and the bedrooms are both fairly large, and so we looked and thought that we could put a bathroom in between them without sacrificing too much of their living space. And that would also negate the need to put an addition on the side of the house, cutting down the expense.
Right, that'd certainly be a lot more expensive than this approach, and really, you hate to give up any more of your yard than you really have to.
You do. This is a smaller size lot, and we have a courtyard on the side, and that would have taken up some of that space that we enjoy.
Now, some of our viewers at this point are probably saying, now, how are they living with all of this? We've disturbed the 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, the other bathroom where we're tying in the plumbing. How are you coping with all of this?
Well, it hasn't been too bad. We have the luxury of being able to move out while the construction is going on. We do come back from time to time to check on the progress of the house, and we've moved some of the bedding into my son's room, and they're all bunking in there together, and we're all sharing a bathroom. So it can be done, but we're going to go to the other house to make it a little bit simpler.
Well, it is nice to drop by and see the progress and see everything going on, being involved there, but then go to maybe the dust-free atmosphere.
Yes,
so.
yes.
Well, I'm anxious to check on the progress. Let me do that, and I'll talk with you soon.
Great.
Now, our carpenters, Nick and Mark, have been able to remove all of the old walls that separated the 2 bedrooms, and they're in the process of laying out all of the wall sections so that we can put up the walls today. Now, before we started on this project, we had 2 good-sized bedrooms with closets on the wall that separated them. The closets were shallow but fairly wide. We removed the walls that separated the bedrooms and closets to leave the space wide open. Now, the area that we're creating here with a bathroom on this side and 2 closets on this side only took up just a little bit of space from each bedroom, so we still left plenty of room for 2 good-sized bedrooms. Now, let me show you on the plans here how everything will look once we're complete. Now, this is the before drawing before any of the work got started, which is always a good idea anytime you're doing a remodeling project to have that existing floor plan to look at. Now, this is a bathroom that's going to play a key role in us getting the water and drain lines over to the new area. Now, let me put this side by side with the finished plan, and you'll see how, by removing this space, we're creating plenty of room for the bathroom and closets, toilet, the vanity, and the tub on this side. Now, of course, at this point in the job, the walls go up, and one of the things we found in the demolition, we had some air conditioning and heating duct work we had to deal with. Now, here supply lines from the air conditioning unit or heating unit up in the attic that supply several rooms downstairs. We certainly can't eliminate that, but we're building it inside a little wall chase area between the bathroom and the closet, so that won't cause a problem. Also on this side, we have a similar situation with the supply line that runs from the attic down to another part of the downstairs, so we're saving all of that. Also, the plumber had a challenge in having to trench all the way down this side of the room to install his water and drain lines that tie into the existing bathroom and come back into this area. Now stay with us. We'll talk with our plumber about some of the things that had to be considered in supplying those water and drain lines, and we'll give you some great ideas on some of the things you need to consider when you're selecting a tub for your new bathroom. Now, our new bathroom that's being positioned between the two bedrooms here on the second story of this house, really moving along great. Mark and his crew have been able to finish all of the framing of the walls. We've had our air conditioning contractor out to take care of all of the work that he needed to, and our electrician is completed. Right now, our master plumber, Artie McGowan's in the process of completing what we call the top-out stage of the project. But, Artie, this isn't your first visit here. You had to come out a few months ago.
Yeah, we had to see if it was feasible to get a line from that bathroom that's existing over there over here to make this bathroom work out.
And after that, establishing the cost for all of that, and then we got the project started, and then the real work came, because I know we had to come in and remove a large trench area through the subfloor here to expose all the floor joists for you to be able to route your water and drain lines.
Yeah, and we had to make sure we had the proper file and everything to get it over there to make sure everything works out.
Okay, and top out stage here, we've roughed everything in, we've got our walls up, and then you came back and topped it out. What exactly does that mean?
Well, that's just basically getting our pipes in the wall. We got water lines and your sanitary lines that are right here, of course, and sometimes gas lines and whatever anybody wants in there.
Okay, just anything that you need to get in the wall before the walls go up. Okay, fixture-wise will be your next step when you come out, everything basically complete, ready to put in the other fixtures. But one fixture that has to go in early, of course, is the bathtub. And tell our viewers why it's so critical to get this in early.
Well, one thing, it has to go in because it has to go bare to the studs. We have sheetrock that's going to fall over the edge and maybe a marble, laminate, or some kind of tile that'll go in there.
Okay, and same way with the shower valve, making that decision very early is important for homeowners because you've got to get that inside the wall.
Yeah, a lot of homeowners make that mistake when they're remodeling, that they don't buy the shower valve first so we can get the manifold part of it into the wall.
Well, that's why we always recommend to the homeowners to get out there to the stores early and try to make these selections. And when you get out to the plumbing store, you may realize there's a number of different tubs to choose from. I'm in the warehouse of a plumbing supplier, which is a great place to show you all the different tubs that are available for your bathroom remodeling project. Now, one of the oldest and for years the most commonly used tub, the cast iron tub. Now, it runs between $400 and $600, so it's a little expensive, and it's very heavy, so you may want to get a friend or a neighbor to help you if you're planning on using a cast iron tub. But it's very durable, and it also is very sturdy, and because of the thickness of the cast iron, it's also very quiet when you're running water into the tub. Now, that's not always the case with a metal tub. Now, the metal tubs are commonly used in new construction. They're a little less expensive, running between $200 and $300, and the manufacturers have really tried to make them a little quieter by adding foam on the bottom of them. You can tell it's a lot lighter than the cast iron tub. It's still a good tub, and again, a lot less expensive than the cast iron. Now, a tub that falls between these two tubs is the tub that we're using on the remodeling project we're following this week. It's actually a hybrid tub that has a metal composite that's sandwiched between the porcelain enamel finish on the front and on the back side, a plastic coating to really quieten it down and to address the sturdiness. Now, of course, you have to consider with these type of tubs, you're also going to have the cost of the surround of the waterproof walls you will be installing. Now, that may be ceramic, it may be cultured marble, granite, several other materials available out there, but that adds to the cost. Now, if you want a complete all-in-one unit, that's available in acrylic. Now, the acrylic units come 5 feet. You're able to slip the whole unit right in place, but I have to caution you, many times on remodeling projects, you simply don't have a large enough door to move this unit into the room you're remodeling. So they're also available in what we call a breakdown unit that comes in 4 different pieces. You still get the advantage of the economical way of supplying the tub in the walls because it runs between $400 and $800 for that type of unit. Now, if you're thinking a little more of a relaxing situation in the bathroom and you're wanting to go with that Whirlpool tub, they're also available in a 5-foot unit. But they start at $1,000 and go up from there. Now, a pocket door can really save a lot of space, particularly in a situation like we have here, where the bathroom's positioned between 2 bedrooms. If we had a traditional door swinging into this room, it would take up a lot of space that may be occupied by furniture. If it swung to the inside, it could block cabinets and create a little traffic problem through the bathroom. Now, pocket doors have gotten a bad name in a lot of ways because they can be problematic if they're not installed properly or if inexpensive hardware is used on the actual track. So make sure you don't buy the cheapest pocket door hardware. Step up to a light commercial type of material, works a lot better, and it has to be installed very early during the framing stages, and it really needs to be done right the first time because if you have problems with it, it's hard to correct it. Now, speaking of space saving, the homeowners have done a great job in working with our custom cabinet company to really utilize every square inch of this bathroom. Starting right here with a linen cabinet that is recessed into the cavity between the back wall of the bathtub and the wall of the bedroom. Now, you may remember earlier in the show where we had an air conditioning duct line running down behind this area. So instead of completely wasting this area, this worked perfect for the cabinet maker to recess this cabinet in. Then here on the bottom actually worked in a little hamper. Also, if you'll remember earlier when we talked to the homeowner, she talked about her 2 daughters will be sharing this bathroom. Well, as they grow older, they'll need more and more storage space. We've got plenty of storage space and kind of done very diplomatically here with a row of 3 drawers on this side, a row of 3 drawers here, one side for each of the girls, and then you have the storage right between as well. Then up above, you've got this cabinet, everything's adjustable shelving. And then also you have the additional space over here as well for any of the overflow. That's kind of what we call the toilet topper cabinet that's right above the toilet itself. Of course, plenty of mirrors, plenty of lights, cultured marble tops in place. So we're ready for the plumber to come in and set in all the fixtures once the ceramic floor is installed. And that's really the next step because we have our floor patch compound down and we're ready for those ceramic installers. The tile setter is laying out these 12 by 12 tiles on a 45-degree angle. Now, this diagonal installation helps give the illusion of more space for a small bath like this, but it's very important to plan for the cuts on each side of the room to be equal so that the area doesn't feel lopsided. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that laying tiles on a 45-degree requires more cuts, and the cuts really need to be clean. So if you do it yourself, you may want to rent a tile saw. Now, this not only will ensure clean cuts, but speed up the process as well. With the tiles all in place, our tile setter can apply the grout, clean the surface, and the floor is complete. Well, the work on our new bathroom is complete. The girls have moved in, and our homeowner, Sully, has really put some nice finishing touches in the bathroom. Now, the whole process took about 60 days, which may seem like a long time, but this was far more than just adding a bathroom. The girls' bedrooms on either side of the bathrooms have been completely remodeled with new closets and an update on the carpet and paint. The hall bath that we had to take apart to tie in our plumbing for this bath was completely remodeled, and the flooring in the upstairs hallway was refinished to conceal the area where we patched the parquet floor. Well, as you can see, when you remodel even a small area of your home, it can really affect other areas. So make sure you plan carefully on your next remodeling project. I'm Danny Lipford, and hope to see you next week.
Get ready to review your fix-it list as Danny and home repair expert Joe Trewini show you this week's simple solution.
Okay, Joe, I think I know what you're doing now. I see the paint can. You're about to paint a door. You're going to take this screw, tie a string around it, hang it from the ceiling, paint both sides at the same time.
Wrong.
Oh.
But you're close. I am painting the door. But as you know, the easiest way to paint a door is to take it down off the hinges and lay it on a horizontal surface. The Problem is you can usually only paint one side, and you have to wait for it to dry and then paint the other side.
Right.
I've got a tip here to show you how you can paint both sides of the door in the same afternoon. You don't have to wait for one side to dry.
Okay.
So what I did is I put one screw in the center of the door on this end, and on that end I did the same thing but with 2 screws. So give me a hand here. First, let's slide this out and rest the door.
Okay, I'm getting it now.
Got it? Okay, rest it on the screw. And we'll come down here. Do me a favor, just move that paint can.
Okay.
And slide this one out.
So it just suspends itself between the two sources.
So at this point, with just the doors resting on the 3 screws. Now I can paint this side and do the ends and the edges, get it nice and clean exactly the way I want it, and then just lift it up, slide this out a little bit, give me room to flip it, and you just pivot it on that single screw. Move the sawhorse in.
I got this side.
Set it down.
Okay.
Now, while that side's drying, you can go right ahead and paint this side.
And I guess then, if you wanted to, after it dried, you could actually leave the screws in and maybe stack that up against a wall, and it'll keep it from hitting the floor or the wall itself with the other screw.
Absolutely.
Great
Works
tip.
great. Yeah, thanks.
Now let's join Danny at the Home Center to check out the best new products.
With almost every home in the country now having a computer, homeowners are getting more concerned about surge protection, that jolt of power coming into the home that can fry your computers, answering machines, telephones, almost everything. That's why you're seeing a lot of surge protection devices. But the problem with this type of device is it only protects whatever's plugged into it, one location in your home. Well, we've got multiple computers now, multiple phones, cable lines, so a whole house system would really be the best way to go. Well, Square D has just introduced the Surge Breaker Plus. Now, let me show you this. It's a modular home protection system that hooks right to your electrical panel. Now, if you're not comfortable with electricity, make sure you get a master electrician to wire this in for you. But this will protect not only the electrical power coming into your home, but also 4 telephone lines and up to 2 cable lines. You wire it in place, and then it'll protect all of your appliances up to 66,000 volts. Now, it costs $260 for this unit. Electrician will probably charge you around $150 or so to install it. But when you think about it, $260 one-time premium for $50,000 protection against any device that's plugged in your home. That's pretty inexpensive insurance.
Now let's go outside for Around the Yard with Danny and lawn and garden expert Barbara Katz.
Now, Barbara, I love planting beds around the home, but it sure seems like they require a lot of maintenance to keep them looking fairly good.
Well, you know, everybody feels that about gardens, and if you are going to have one, it's going to take a little bit of maintenance. If you can carve some time out just on the front end of creating a garden, you'll be able to save yourself some time over the long haul.
Well, what are the few things, though, just 2 or 3 things that really will make the most impact?
You know, I think probably the most important thing is to try and work the soil. All of us inherit either clay or silt, and you know, the plants are not going to grow that well if you don't add some kind of organic material, whether it's humus or mushroom compost, or you know, there are tons of different products out there. But if you can work that into the soil, you're going to see your plants just thrive, and I mean thrive for the life of the garden.
Okay, what about fertilizer? I mean, adding fertilizer will certainly make them more healthy, I guess.
Well, you know, just by doing that work to the soil, that's already fertilizing the plants. But after a few years, if you want to add some slow-release fertilizer, that's good. I think that's a good thing to do for them.
Okay, the nasty word, weeds. How can you get rid of all of the weeds, or at least minimize the growth of the weeds?
I mean, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can have a garden that's weed-free, because I'm afraid it's just a part of life. But if you work with mulch, that's going to make all the difference in the world. First, it keeps the moisture in the beds, which is great for the plants, but it will suppress the weed growth. And you know, just by doing these things, I think you're going to find that a garden's not quite as much maintenance as you thought. And the joy it's going to give you over the life of the garden is going to be worth it.